European countries opening up for travel.
Where did our fellow travelers go in April?
Major developments in the cruise industry.
The preferred seat on an airplane.
And this month, we celebrated our 100th live stream, and it was a night owl.
Oh, it was. We'll be discussing all of these topics after this. Hello, fellow travelers!
Hello.
It's Neil here.
And I'm Kimberly.
And this is TTT
Travel
Travel News.
There are countries that are beginning to open up in Europe for travel. Now, there are different rules with different countries. Some are requiring a vaccination. Some are requiring that you be tested 72 hours prior to going. Some are requiring both. Now, there's also talk about the European Union.
Yes.
Okay. Now, there is talk that the European Union may open up this summer. Now, that would look more like probably July. Now, every country within the European Union can have its own rules. So this is developing, and we are going to watch as that begins to develop.
Yes, it is important to distinguish between the European Union and the individual states within the United States. That does not work the same way. Within the United States, things can still be accomplished on a federal level, but in Europe, that is way harder to accomplish because you're still talking about sovereign states.
Yes. And also, not everything in Europe is part of the EU.
That is correct, yeah.
Like Iceland is opening up with its own set of rules.
So what do our fellow travelers have to say about countries opening up in Europe? Well, Eric, as you can see here from Travel Adventures with Eric B, very quickly pointed out that Iceland is coming up for him in 121 days.
Yes, he's very excited.
So, yeah, when it comes to that, Eric is very much looking forward to traveling to Europe and, doesn't see any objections to going.
Now, not all of our travelers feel that this summer is going to be the best time to go to Europe.
No.
Some of them would like to wait a little further. There's talk of waiting till winter even, or Christmas time.
As is evident by this comment here from Megan Morris, she says, definitely heading back to Europe this year, looking more towards fall than summer.
Yeah.
So there's already one of such examples of fellow travelers who are looking forward to traveling to Europe, but not quite yet.
Yeah.
Now, then there are also fellow travelers that are more so looking at skipping Europe altogether and just focus on areas that travel is more a certain thing.
Yes, that's
so,
true.
Robert Norris here, for instance, says going to stay in Mexico and the Caribbean this year.
Yes, he is.
There is certainly something to be said for that too.
Yeah, we've done our fair share of traveling there.
Exactly. The Texans who travel are hopeful that their May trip on the Viking to France next year will actually happen. However, they don't know about this year yet.
And for some of us in the travel community, Europe opening up isn't just about traveling, it's also about seeing family.
Yes. I'm one to attest to that.
Yeah, and Raphael Viso.
Yes,
as well.
From Visos Travel. Yes, correct. And speaking of the Visos, a comment was made by Raphael. He said that he isn't so much worried about the travel process itself, but he's more concerned that things may actually not be opened once he would make it to Europe.
This is true.
Yeah, and that is definitely something to keep in mind. That if you are traveling to Europe, and there may not necessarily be restrictions too much or any obstacles to really get there, but yeah, once you get there, then what?
Are the museums open?
Are the museums open? Are parks open? Are any
Sit-down
monuments open?
restaurants.
Sit-down restaurants, hotels?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
usually those are open, but I can imagine that it will be limited capacity. There will be all kinds of stipulations. They may not only operate under certain circumstances. That can differ per country,
Yes.
mind you. So that is absolutely a valid concern. Now, you may have heard us say that we're always looking at where can we go, that we prefer that rather than where can we not go.
Exactly.
Because that list is way easier to make than the places where you still can go.
Yeah.
But as travelers, you always want to look at, okay, what is an option?
Yeah.
So that said, there are several fellow travelers among us who have been able to go places in April.
Yes. So where did some of our fellow travelers go this April?
Well, let me tell you. The Q's Cruisers, Bob and Sarah, as well as Honey from the Beach Life and his wife, and Midlife Crazy, Brad and Kimberly, they went to Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yes. But that was not the only destination that was visited by our fellow travelers.
Oh.
No, because Daniel and Nancy Fields, as well as Craig Carter, went to the Dominican Republic.
Yes, they did.
Now, I know a relatively large group that is going to the Dominican Republic very soon. Wonder who that would be.
I don't know.
And of course, there were also fellow travelers who went to good old Mexico. And those would be Jamie from Jamie Amtrak Travel, as well as Dan Zulch.
Yes.
So, yes, they went to Mexico and had a great time there. So that's awesome.
And also, Dewey from Dewey's Destinations, he is right now on a riverboat cruise on the Mississippi. So he's traveling as well.
Perfect. Yeah. That's the way to go.
This month, there have been so many major developments in the cruise industry.
Yes, there have been.
Oh my goodness. There are cruises this summer that are going out of ports that aren't American ports.
Right.
So they've been looking at what can they do. And what they came up with is some are going out of St. Martin now, Bahamas, Barbados, and there's even going to be cruise ships going out of Greece. Now, these are...
So it's no longer limited to just like the general vicinity of the Caribbean.
No. And there is sailing going on in the rest of the world too. Now, that might not be open to American travelers.
Right.
But the ones going out of St. Martin, Barbados, the Bahamas, Greece, those are all open to American travelers. And the big news has been the CDC is now kind of backstepping a little bit with their regulations.
Yeah, they came up with new guidelines, didn't they?
Yes, which...
What did those exactly entail?
Well, there's a lot.
Well, what is the big outline?
The big outline is there's talk of cruising perhaps starting as early as July from the United States. But this is developing because the CDC is now saying, well, if 95% of the people are vaccinated and 95% of the crew is vaccinated, then they would not need to do certain things like have the PCR tests. They could do the rapid tests. A whole bunch of different things. And there's a lot of different information out there, but it is changing constantly. And with that, another thing that they did change is providing that everything is met, they would not have to do the test cruises. So that is what they're saying could bring them up as early as July.
Right.
So we'll keep an eye on this as everybody else will too, to see exactly what develops. But it is looking very good. I mean, yes, they're saying they would like to see on the timeline for July. I'm thinking more fall. But that's my opinion.
Now, about halfway April, there was a letter from the CEO and president of Norwegian Cruise Lines, from Harry Sommer, in which some interesting information was given. And in order to outline exactly what caught my eye, I'm going to quote a part of this letter. Here's what it says. While our ships haven't been sailing, we have been working non-stop, enhancing our already robust sail-safe health and safety program, which includes mandatory vaccination requirements for all guests and crew on all cruises through October 31st, 2021, to ensure that you and your loved ones can cruise confidently once again. Okay, so You notice in there is a specific date given. So it says the 31st of October, at least until that date, those measures are in place. So that hints at possible changes after that date. So there might be a fair chance that after that date, those vaccination requirements may not be in place anymore. Not saying that it's going to happen, they might also get extended, but there is at least a chance.
And as far as vaccination requirements go, the state of Florida and the state of Texas both have put laws into effect that businesses cannot ask if someone is vaccinated. And Florida has said that they're going to extend that to cruising. So I'm interested to see how that's going to unfold.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, no doubt. This past month we held a poll among our fellow travelers who are part of the TTT Travel and Tour community on the Facebook to see what their preferred seat is on an airplane. And we discovered some interesting results.
Yes.
So, as you can see right here, these are the results. The window seat is by far the most popular. More than half of the respondents said, so 56% that is, said that they prefer the window seat. Now, second would be the aisle seat with 37%. And the middle seat is really not that popular at only 5%. And there was one person who voted to be seated in the bulkhead, which obviously, if that is an option, many travelers would pick that. But from the three conventional seats, I would say in a airplane with 3 rows, yes, the window seat is the most popular type of seat.
Do you feel that the window seat was the most popular because people like to look out the window, or because people like to lean and kind of take a nap?
I can see a multitude of reasons there, really. What you just mentioned very well could be a reason, obviously. But also looking out of the window, indeed. And if you are a vlogger,
yes,
the views you can get sometimes from an airplane window are incredible.
Yeah, we have some of them.
We do have some of them. In fact, we'll show you a few just right now. Here, take a look. This is absolutely breathtaking. This is why I like to have a window seat.
Yeah.
So, and particularly if you are a vlogger, that could help.
Yeah. And the last topic for the TTT Travel and Tour news for April is our celebration.
Yes, that was one for our channel.
Yes, we celebrated doing 100 live streams.
Yes.
Well, how incredible.
Yes.
That was just amazing.
Still cannot believe it.
I know.
We cracked those triple digits. That's just bizarre.
Yeah. But, and we had a great time.
We did.
And we just want to thank everybody who has been a part of our community, a part of our channel.
In any way. In any way you supported us, we're grateful.
Yes. And all of you that attended our live stream, our celebration, we want to thank you for that too.
Yes. There will be many more live streams to come, and we hope to see you at some point in one of them.
Yes.
And that concludes TTT Travel News for April 2021. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the red subscribe button.
Yes.
We would very much appreciate that. And we would also very much appreciate a good old thumbs up. Until next time, this is Neil.
And I'm Kimberly.
And this is TTT Travel News.